Well, first of all, they have to identify this individual, which I'm sure they have identified him by now. And as we've seen with all these other investigations that include international terrorists such as ISIS or Al Qaeda, they will go through all their social media. They'll go through all their computers and their phones, their fingerprints, even their retina scans to see if they pop on any other investigations. And they'll start following those things out to quickly identify any other groups that this individual may be connected to, because what you want to rule out very quickly, if possible, is this individual working alone, or are they associated with some other ideology or group? Now, as Grant was alluding to there a minute ago, once the investigations go towards international terrorism, if that's what it is, I'm seeing some reports on here, I haven't verified anything yet, but if it goes towards international terrorism, a lot of the times they just concentrate on the groups that these individuals are associated with, but they don't associate or they don't investigate any of the verbiage that may be spinning around this country inciting people. And that's what we've seen multiple attacks throughout the country. Colorado, Washington, D.C., with the murder of two Jewish individuals. We've seen all these different things occur because of rhetoric, yet rhetoric of the left, but yet it was directed and the action was taken by people who identify with an international ideology. So what I would like to see, and what I hope that they're doing, is starting to connect the dots between the left and any of these other international groups, or any of these people who try to assassinate a president or killed Charlie Kirk. I mean, there are connections between the left and what we call the Red-Green Alliance, which would be the left, socialist, and fundamental Islam. And they need to start looking at these things, because that's very well where this could end up leading.
And Jonathan, one of the biggest things is how close this shooting was to the White House. I mean, this is a place where we are at all the time. There's leaders in and out. Do you think that this could change the level of security that we're seeing around the Capitol? And do you think that it's valid that President Trump should bring more law enforcement in?
There's really not much more law enforcement that you could bring in to Washington, D.C. I mean, every federal agency is there. The National Guard is there, local law enforcement is there, state police are there. I think what needs to probably be modified is that they've been there long enough where complacency can set in. As things get safer, law enforcement can become more complacent. That needs to, and same thing with the National Guard. I'm not saying they were, but I'm saying that is something that could easily be tightened up. And then also, law enforcement is very bad about institutional inbreeding, where they do things the way that they do because that's the way they've always been done. Law enforcement, National Guard, anybody involved in these operations needs to start thinking outside the box and looking at things like the bad guy, so that they can start identifying avenues of approach, types of attacks that could happen, when they would happen, and how they can mitigate those types of attacks, or the possibility of those attacks. Because just standing on the street and walking a beat opens you wide up to this type of attack. So I think that's what needs to be modified. It's not that we need more law enforcement, but we need to be aware. New York City learned this. You know, they have two people in a car, they're both eating lunch with their heads down, one of them gets hit in the head with an axe. So we need to change the way that they do this and really tighten up what they're watching and how they're working.